What is déjà vu? Déjà vu is a peculiar sensation where an individual feels that the present moment is eerily familiar, as if it has been experienced before, sparking a sense of already seen. Déjà vu occurs spontaneously and can be triggered by specific situations or environments, though its exact onset remains elusive. Examples: familiar surroundings in a new context. Meeting someone for the first time but feeling like you've met them before. Experiencing a sequence of events that seems preordained. Hearing a conversation that feels like a replay. Visiting a new place that feels strangely familiar. Participating in an activity that triggers a strong sense of déjà vu. Reading a passage in a book that creates a sensation of having read it before. Déjà vu often induces momentary disorientation, leading individuals to question the nature of time and memory. The phenomenon can evoke introspection about the mysteries of the mind. Déjà vu may briefly disrupt logical thinking as individuals grapple with reconciling the present experience with the sensation of having lived it before. However, its impact on critical thinking is generally transient. Acknowledge the déjà vu experience, and if needed, employ mindfulness techniques to ground oneself in the present moment, helping to navigate the peculiar sensation. What is synesthesia? Synesthesia is a fascinating perceptual phenomenon where stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in another, causing a blending of sensations that is not typical. Synesthesia typically occurs when an individual is exposed to certain stimuli, such as seeing colors when hearing music or associating specific tastes with particular words. Examples: hearing music and seeing vibrant colors simultaneously. Associating specific tastes with different words or sounds. Seeing numbers as having distinct personalities or colors. Feeling textures in response to specific scents. Perceiving shapes and colors with certain tastes. Associating emotions with specific smells. Seeing patterns or colors triggered by specific words. Synesthesia enhances sensory experiences, providing a unique and often pleasurable perspective on the world. However, it can also be overwhelming, leading to sensory overload in certain situations. Synesthesia may contribute to creative thinking by fostering unconventional associations. However, in some cases, it might pose challenges in situations that require strictly analytical or objective thinking. Embrace the richness of the synesthetic experience, and if needed, channel the unique perspectives it offers into creative outlets. What are hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations? Hypnagogic hallucinations occur during the transition from wakefulness to sleep, involving vivid and often surreal sensory experiences. Hypnopompic hallucinations, on the other hand, occur during the transition from sleep to wakefulness, similarly presenting vivid and often dreamlike sensory perceptions. Hypnagogic hallucinations occur as one is drifting off to sleep, while hypnopompic hallucinations occur upon waking up from sleep. Examples: seeing colorful patterns when closing the eyes to sleep. Hearing voices or music during the early stages of sleep. Feeling a sensation of floating or flying. Imagining vivid scenes or landscapes. Experiencing tactile sensations like floating or falling. Seeing flashes of light while transitioning to sleep. encountering fantastical creatures or objects in a half-asleep state. These hallucinations can be both mesmerizing and disconcerting, blurring the lines between dreams and reality. They may contribute to vivid dream recall but can also lead to moments of confusion upon waking. During these hallucinatory states, critical thinking may be temporarily compromised, as the mind navigates between the dream world and wakefulness. However, their impact on critical thinking tends to be transient. Acknowledge the hallucinatory nature of these experiences and, if necessary, establish consistent sleep patterns to minimize disruptions in the transitions between wakefulness and sleep. What is the Capgras Delusion? Capgras Delusion is a psychiatric disorder where an individual, despite recognizing faces, believes that a close friend, family member, or even themselves has been replaced by an identical-looking imposter. Capgras delusion can occur at any time, and its onset may be triggered by various factors, including stress or neurological conditions. Examples: believing a sibling has been replaced by an imposter. Thinking a spouse is not the real person but a doppelganger. Feeling certain that a parent has been substituted by a lookalike. Believing one's own reflection is an imposter in the mirror. Convincing oneself that a close friend is an identical imposter. Misidentifying children as replicas rather than genuine offspring. Suspecting that colleagues are imposters rather than real co-workers. Capgras delusion induces a profound sense of confusion, detachment, and emotional distress as individuals grapple with the paradox of recognizing faces yet believing in the existence of identical imposters. The delusion significantly distorts critical thinking, leading individuals to question the authenticity of their closest relationships and undermining their ability to trust the people around them. Seeking professional psychiatric help is crucial for managing Capgras delusion, as therapeutic interventions and medications may be necessary to alleviate the distress and correct the distorted perceptions associated with this disorder. What is the Cotard delusion? Cotard delusion is a rare psychiatric condition where individuals firmly believe that they are dead, do not exist, or have lost their internal organs, despite evidence to the contrary. Cotard delusion can manifest at any time and often arises in the context of severe psychiatric disorders, such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Examples: believing one's heart has stopped beating. Convincing oneself that internal organs are missing. Firmly holding the belief of being deceased. Thinking one's body is decomposing. Believing that life functions have ceased to exist. Convinced of being a walking corpse. Firmly holding the belief of having lost all vital organs. Cotard delusion creates profound existential distress, detachment from reality, and a sense of unreality, as individuals grapple with the paradox of navigating life while believing in their own non-existence. The delusion significantly distorts critical thinking, as individuals may disregard evidence contradicting their belief in death or the absence of internal organs, undermining their ability to engage rationally with the world. Managing Cotard delusion requires a comprehensive approach involving psychiatric intervention, psychotherapy, and medication. Seeking professional help is crucial to address the underlying psychiatric conditions contributing to the delusional beliefs and promote a return to a more grounded perception of reality. What is pareidolia? Pareidolia is a perceptual phenomenon where the human mind interprets random stimuli, such as patterns, shapes, or sounds, as familiar or meaningful entities, often leading to the recognition of faces or objects where none exist. Pareidolia can occur in various situations, especially when the brain seeks familiar patterns or connections in ambiguous stimuli. Examples: seeing faces in clouds or patterns, recognizing shapes in random arrangements of objects, finding images in natural formations like rocks or tree bark, perceiving familiar shapes in inkblot tests, hearing voices or music in white noise, identifying patterns in random data or static, seeing human faces in inanimate objects like cars or buildings. Pareidolia enhances creativity by encouraging imaginative connections, but it may also contribute to misinterpretations and false perceptions, leading to a subjective experience of the world. While pareidolia can foster creativity, it may also lead to the misinterpretation of information, especially when critical thinking is needed to discern between actual patterns and imagined connections. Cultivate awareness of pareidolic tendencies and apply skepticism when interpreting ambiguous stimuli, promoting a balanced approach to perception and critical thinking. What is the Fregoli Delusion? Fregoli Delusion is a rare psychiatric disorder where individuals firmly believe that various people around them are actually the same person in disguise, despite clear evidence to the contrary. Fregoli delusion can manifest at any time, often emerging within the context of psychotic disorders, such as schizophrenia. Examples: believing different strangers are a single familiar individual in disguise. Thinking coworkers are all the same person with altered appearances. Convinced that friends and family are consistently masquerading. Family holding the belief that multiple acquaintances are a singular person. Believing various individuals in public are a single person in different forms. Identifying different people on the street as one persistent imposter. Thinking that different characters on TV or in movies are portrayed by the same actor. Fregoli delusion causes profound paranoia, anxiety, and strained interpersonal relationships as individuals struggle to trust the identities of those around them, perpetuating a cycle of suspicion and fear. The delusion distorts critical thinking, as individuals consistently misinterpret the identities of people in their environment, leading to strained social interactions and difficulties in discerning reality from delusional beliefs. Seeking professional psychiatric help is crucial to manage Fregoli delusion, as therapeutic interventions and medications may be necessary to address the underlying psychosis and mitigate the distress associated with persistent misidentifications. What is eidetic memory? Eidetic memory, often referred to as photographic memory, is an exceptional ability where an individual can vividly recall images, sounds, or objects with great detail after only a brief exposure. Eidetic memory is typically observed in early childhood but can persist into adulthood in some individuals. Examples: recalling intricate details of a complex visual scene. Memorizing lengthy passages of text after a single reading. Remembering precise colors and patterns of objects. Instantly recalling a list of items or numbers. Memorizing a map with intricate details after a brief glance. recalling the exact sequence of events in a past experience. Memorizing a piece of music after hearing it only once. Eidetic memory provides individuals with a remarkable capacity for recall, fostering a heightened ability to retain and retrieve information with exceptional accuracy, often facilitating academic or professional success. The phenomenon can enhance critical thinking by providing individuals with a vast store of detailed information readily available for analysis. However, it may also lead to challenges in filtering irrelevant details in certain situations. Effectively managing eidetic memory involves developing strategies to harness its advantages while avoiding information overload. Utilizing organizational techniques and focusing on key concepts can help individuals channel their exceptional memory abilities more efficiently. What is the Savant Syndrome? Savant Syndrome is a rare condition where individuals with developmental or intellectual disabilities demonstrate extraordinary abilities, often excelling in specific areas such as mathematics, music, art, or memory, despite limitations in other cognitive functions. Savant Syndrome is typically observed early in life, often during childhood, and persists into adulthood. Examples: mastering complex mathematical calculations effortlessly. Creating intricate and detailed artistic works with precision. Playing musical instruments with exceptional skill and accuracy. Memorizing vast amounts of information with ease. Demonstrating advanced abilities in calendar calculation. Excelling in language-related tasks, such as learning multiple languages. Displaying an exceptional capacity for spatial reasoning or navigation. Savant Syndrome provides individuals with exceptional talents, allowing them to excel in specific domains, contributing to a unique cognitive profile. However, the impact can vary, with some experiencing challenges in other areas of daily functioning. While savant abilities can contribute to creative problem-solving within their specific domains, challenges may arise in generalizing these skills to broader critical thinking tasks. The focus on specific talents may overshadow more comprehensive cognitive skills. Effectively managing Savant Syndrome involves fostering a supportive environment that nurtures the individual's strengths while providing assistance and accommodations in areas where challenges may be present. Encouraging a well-rounded approach to development can enhance overall life skills. What is an out-of-body experience? An out-of-body experience, or OBE, is a dissociative phenomenon where an individual perceives their consciousness as being detached from the physical body, often experiencing a sensation of floating or hovering outside themselves. OBEs can occur spontaneously or be induced through practices such as meditation, near-death experiences, or altered states of consciousness. Examples: floating above one's own body during meditation. Experiencing a sense of detachment during a near-death encounter. Feeling an out-of-body sensation during sleep paralysis. Having an OBE during a psychedelic or hallucinogenic experience. Witnessing one's own actions from an external perspective. Experiencing a sensation of floating or flying above the surroundings. Feeling a separation of consciousness from the physical body. OBEs can evoke profound feelings of wonder, spirituality, or fear, depending on the individual's interpretation of the experience. They may lead to a reconsideration of the nature of consciousness and the self. While OBEs may challenge conventional perceptions of reality, Their impact on critical thinking can vary. Some individuals may integrate the experience into broader perspectives, while others may struggle to reconcile the phenomenon with rational thought. Managing out-of-body experiences involves integrating them into one's understanding of consciousness and reality, seeking guidance from health professionals to discuss the potential neurological cause of the experience, and maintaining a balanced perspective on the subjective nature of such encounters.